Hello, everybody, and welcome to my weekly SEOPA chat at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays. My name is Bob Umar, and I am a four-time TEDx speaker, one of Inc. Magazine's top 100 leadership speakers. I'm excited to join you today because I do a weekly chat with SEOPA to Seize Your Passion hashtag, and it's an amazing, amazing time. I'm glad you're all here to join me. Today, our topic is about deciding from your heart. So I really want to share some thoughts on that. I'm also happy to hear some of your thoughts. You can certainly comment below in a positive, productive fashion, and we can get to some of the amazing things that we're going to be talking about today. So let's start with the first thing, which is, I'm from Toronto, Canada, and thanks for the hearts. Oh, I love the hearts. It's so good. I'm from Toronto, Canada. Let me know where you're from below. Where are you from? Dallas, Texas? Are you from the East Coast, West Coast, Japan, Europe, wherever you are from? Let me know where you're from. I'd love to hear right below. And then as I comment on the different 5 things I want to talk about when it comes to deciding from your heart, I want you to kind of share your own thoughts too. Hey, Hammer. Oh, right from the Hammer. That's awesome. Glad to have you here. If you like what you're hearing, by all means, tap the hearts, double tap, triple tap the hearts. Let's get the hearts going. Everyone loves the hearts. It makes people feel good. So it makes you feel good, makes everyone else feel good. So let's get into the first thing, which is, so deciding from the heart. What does that? And also, share on Twitter, share on Facebook. Let's get people part of this conversation because I want to help as many people as I can. That's what I do for a living. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a coach. And I basically help people all through social media as well as in person. So that's what I do. Let's start with the first thing. So when it comes to deciding from your heart, and you want to follow a passion or a path of passion, the heart is something that we often forget about. But the first thing I think about is, number one, what decision types are you making? And the most important decision type that comes from the heart is what we call pain and bliss. So that's the main thing we want to talk about. So we often make decisions, and not just decisions, we also actually act, we move when something is so painful that our heart is like, oh man, it's so painful for my heart, I need to move forward. So it's like, oh, this is so upsetting and so constraining, I need to leave. Or, gosh, that thing smells so bad, I need to leave. The other way we do it is with a bliss statement. So, deep breath is good, yeah. The other one is a bliss statement. So it's like, oh, that looks so enjoyable, I want to go over there. Okay, you know what, I'm going to go over there and play with those people that are playing Frisbee. Or, gosh, it smells so nice over there, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to be part of that. So what happens is, from a decision and an action standpoint, your heart feels pain and will move away from pain, at least if it has the courage to. Or it feels bliss and joy and fulfillment, and it'll move towards that joy and fulfillment. And again, loving the hearts, that's great. Keep tapping, keep loving that. I love that. It's so great. And anyone else like what you're hearing, by all means, tap away. I love that. So pain and bliss are two major parts of decision points, decision types that come from your heart. That's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to talk about is the second type of decision types we have. And that is basically the rational and the irrational decision type. And so let's talk about the irrational ones first. So there are different things, and they're irrational heart decisions that actually they come from the heart. Some of them they do. So it's important to wean those out and focus on the ones that are more important. So the irrational types of decisions come from fear. You're afraid of doing something, so you decide not to do something. You're fearful of what people think about you, so you decide not to say something. You're fearful of how you're going to end up, and therefore you decide to delay something. So fear is an irrational emotion. The second irrational emotion is unprocessed emotional pain. So whether you're pain from that bike crash you're a part of, and you don't want to ride a bike anymore, or you had that really bad information. No, I like your conversations and interruption. I love you, the heart. So please continue to do that. It's fantastic. So unprocessed emotional pain, whether it's 20 years ago or even last week, that actually makes us irrational, and our heart makes us stop doing the right decisions. Another one is anger. So you're angry about things. A lot of people are talking about anger in the upcoming U.S. election. There was also anger in the previous Canadian election. And so when you vote with anger, you're not actually being rational. You're not really voting with your heart. So it's important to be mindful of your heart, or the best parts of your heart. And then the other one is blame. We blame. You blame your parents, you blame your friends, you blame the world, you blame for what didn't happen for you. So those types of irrational decisions usually don't end up going very well for you. It's important for you to focus on the rational decisions. And thank you, Action Evans, for sharing on Twitter. Share us on Twitter. Let's get people on this. Share the heart, share the love, and share your comments. Let me know what you think about what I'm talking about, because I want to hear your thoughts. I mean, I love talking, and I love the hearts. It's great, but I want to hear your thoughts below, okay? So type a little bit something, even a hello, where you're from. I'd love to know where you're from. So we talked about irrational fears, and that's a decision type between irrational and rational fears. But the rational fears are the ones that are more important. Now, how do you decide whether it's your heart or your intuition? Because I believe that they are a team. Well, they do play together. Intuition and heart do play together. Intuition usually is based on less data information, right? It's just kind of based on your gut feeling. It's called your gut. Whereas heart feelings are based on all the emotions around the gamut, the irrational ones and the rational ones. So let's talk about the rational ones. So the rational ones, number one rational heart decision is logic. Logic dictates that, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. So doing something that benefits more people, including yourself, versus benefiting little people, that's something that your heart will say, yeah, you know what, that makes sense to me, so it's in my heart. The second one is data. Data actually supporting the fact that, hey, you know what, this type of business has a 20% market share growth. It's something you want to get part of, so therefore your heart starts to feel, yeah, that makes sense to me. So again, it convinces your heart that it's a good decision. And then, of course, there's quantitative and qualitative data. Qualitative in particular is like anecdotes, people sharing stories, people just telling you personally that it's a good idea, so that actually, fills your heart. And then the fourth and most important thing is the heart itself. The heart can be rational, because if that rationality is based on fulfillment, joy, happiness, peace, calm, serenity, but most particularly fulfillment, then you will know that decision you're making that's based on heart will make you deliriously happy the rest of your life or for the next week, and therefore it's a good decision. But usually it's long term, right? That's where logic and data comes into play. So, yes, watching TV fulfills me, but on a long term basis, I can't just watch TV all day and do nothing, because it's not going to fulfill me overall from a rational standpoint. So that decision type is really important to understand. So the first decision type is understanding the pain point and the bliss point, and what you're going to do beyond that. The second thing is decision points between the rational and the irrational, and know how the heart works there, because that's an important piece to know as well. So let's go to the third thing in terms of deciding from your heart. This is really important. Who carries your heart? Who carries your heart? Your heart's in here. Who's holding it? Who has their hands around it? Who has it embraced you and enveloped you? Well, these are people like your parents. These are people like your children, your brothers and sisters, your close personal friends, the ones that are really, really there for you. So they have significant influence and connection to your heart. And so, yeah, I mean, that's true. If you are an emotional decision, that's true. That's why it's important for you to focus on the rational aspect. I mean, if you are an emotional person, be a rational emotional person, not an irrational emotion. Irrational emotions, fear, anger, blame, is going to take you down the wrong path, versus a rational of logic, data, qualitative, and heart. Now, going back to who cares for your heart. So what that means is, if you're trying to make a decision from the heart, why not engage the people who hold your heart? So when I make a big decision, I talk to my wife. When I make a big decision, I talk to my kids. When I make a big decision, I talk to my parents or my family, my close personal friends. And they're a big part of my decision making. So deciding from your heart should involve the people who carry your heart all around you. Hope that makes sense. That's my first 3 of 5. So the first 3, absolutely hold your own heart first and foremost. Absolutely. So I'm saying there's other people that carry you a little bit, and they're your support network. So it's important for you to know who they are and leverage those people as best you can. So first 3, deciding from your heart. Number 1, know decision types, pain versus bliss. Number 2, rational versus irrational. Number 3, who carries your heart? Leverage those people as best you can when you make those heart decisions. The fourth thing is to revisit the heart. You have to revisit the heart. And why? Because your heart will change. Your heart will grow. Your heart will evolve. You may start something you love. I've always wanted to open an ice cream store. And then you open the store and, oh, it's so great. And then Christmas rolls around and it's like, wow, sales are bad and it's cold and no one wants ice cream. And you're like, yeah, I'm not into this anymore. Maybe I should do something else. So that's normal. You have to revisit your heart every once in a while to understand how it's feeling, how you're feeling joy and fulfillment, and if it needs some adjustment, or maybe you need to make a different heart decision that takes you a different way. Maybe there's a pain point that's getting to you. Maybe there's a bliss point. Your husband always says, I make the best decisions, so I can't ask all the time. Okay, there you go. Hey, that's awesome. See? He loves you. That's fantastic. Just say, hey, I'll make the decision, but I just want your take, whether you like it or not. I'm going to do whatever I want anyways, and see what he says, and then that should work out okay. All right, so that's 4 things about, and again, I love the hearts. Thanks so much, and it's great that you're sharing your love for your husband. That's great. I love the hearts. Thank you so much for that. So it's 4 or 5 things I've shared. Let's get to the 5th one. The 5th thing for deciding from your heart is really all about alignment. There's your heart, there's your head, and then there's your soul. Your heart is in the middle. Your heart is the bridge between your head and your soul. Your head helps you know that it's right rationally. Your heart helps you feel the emotions of rational, logic, qualitative heart, and emotional fulfillment. And then it goes down to your soul, which is like and that's where you get the inner peace and the purposefulness and the sense of calm amidst the storm, because you feel that everything is right. So it's important for you when you make those decisions to balance the head and the heart and the soul. Aligning the head, heart, and soul will take you so far. Where was I born? I was born in Canada, actually. Good question. It's the most incredible feeling to align heart, mind, and soul, because rational is all there. The bliss point is fulfilled. The pain points have minimized. And people are aligning around you. So when it comes to the 5th thing to do is, again, make sure your heart is the bridge between your head and your soul. So the 5 things, just to review in terms of what we talk about deciding from your heart. Number 1, know the decision types about pain points versus bliss points and how they make you act or not act. Number 2, know decision points. Number 2, about rational versus irrational. Irrational things like fear, unprocessed emotional pain, anger, and balance will throw your heart off. Rational heart things like logic, data, qualitative data, and heart will make you go much, much further when it comes to heart decisions. Yes, heart is the bridge between your head and your soul. Absolutely. Number 3, who controls your heart? So who carries your heart? Who holds your heart? Who's with your heart? Who's in your heart? Those people are part of your network you should leverage for feedback, for information, for support, and things like that. Number 4, revisit the heart, because it evolves, changes, and grows, because you need to make sure that your heart is aligned to what you're doing. And then finally, your heart is the bridge between your head and your soul. And when you align your heart, head, and soul, everything else will be more fulfilled as you seize your passion. So that's really important. Question: Are there differences between people who are born in Canada? Well, the difference between all individuals. So people are different based on their experience and their beliefs and their values. So that's really a kind of a broad question. All right, so I've covered the 5. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to be here every week. You can check if you have any other comments on this stuff. Post below, share it with your friends. Check out the videos on seopa.com/stream. You can see some of the amazing stuff we've done before in the last few months. If you have suggestions, thank you, that's really kind words. Share with the hashtag Seize Your Passion or hashtag Q4BobbyU. I'll do future topics. I'll be here every Thursday at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to help you seize your passion. And wish you guys all the best. Have an amazing week. Take care. Bye-bye.